Hi, this is Ashok Kalshala from Kakatiya Government College, Hanamkonda, Warangal Urban District, Telangana State, India. Today's video is mainly focused on BSc third semester practicals. And in this video, BSc third semester practicals, we have already done 2 more videos previously. And this is going to be the third video where we will discuss some more practicals. And in the previous we discussed about different practicals that is conducted in the BSc third semester. Let us see what are the practicals that is going to be discussed in this video. Let us see the first one, that is going to be the esterification. Then what is other is going to be the methylation. First one is the esterification, second one is going to be the methylation, and third one is going to be condensation. What is condensation reaction? How it can be carried in the BSc UG third semester practicals. Next, the fourth one is going to be the diazotization, and this is going to be, we will discuss in this third semester practicals in this video. What are those? Esterification, methylation, and another one is said to be the condensation. Fourth one is the diazotization. How does these 4 practicals can be performed in the practicals? Let us see one by one. The first one is going to be the esterification. Then in this esterification, what is the practical that is going to be performed in the third semester? In this one, we are going to discuss preparation of N-butyl acetate from acetic acid. How does N-butyl acetate can be carried with from the acetic acid? And you know, first of all, what is going to be the esterification? It is looks similar to the general reaction, that is going to be the neutralization, where an acid react with a base to form salt and water. But in the esterification reaction, carboxylic acid reacts with the alcohol to form ester and water. And this is a reversible. Esterification reaction is a reversible reaction, and also carried this reaction either in acidic medium or in basic. The esterification in basic medium is otherwise also called as saponification, where the soaps can be prepared. That is, soaps are nothing but sodium or potassium salts of fatty acids which contain a long as like sodium stearate, sodium laurate, like that. There are many soaps can be prepared by esterification in presence of a base which is called as saponification. Let us see our practical today's our session. How does N-butyl acetate can be prepared from acetic acid, and this acid esterification is carried in acidic medium? Then let us see what are the requirements, how does the experiment is carried. This is going to be the N-butyl acetate. You can observe here, this is going to be the what the red color one is going to be the oxygens, and the blue color the normal, this is going to be the what you call it as the carbons, and these are the oxygen. This is a ball and stick models of N-butyl acetate, and you can see this is the normal one, N-butyl acetate one. Then what is the aim? To become acquainted with the general procedure used in the organic chemistry lab experiment, and in this synthesize an ester from its corresponding acid and alcohol. The corresponding acid is the acetic acid, alcohol is the N-butyl alcohol. And here this is another way called as Fischer esterification reaction. Now let us see what are the chemicals required. One is said to be the acetic acid, about 15 ml, N-butanol about 11.5 ml, concentrated sulfuric acid around 2 ml, 10% sodium hydrogen carbonate solution 10 ml, anhydrous sodium sulfate 1 gram. Then let us see what are the apparatus that is required, apparatus and other. We need a heating mantle, this is, and we need a what is called as the 100 ml round bottom flask, and water condenser, distillation kit, Buchner funnel, filter paper, separating funnel, boiling chips, grease, gloves, etc. Let us see what are these going to be. Now let us see how does heating mantle look like. And this is going to be the heating funnel look like. And you can see this is going to be the heating funnel. And now what is the Buchner funnel? And this is going to be the Buchner funnel for filtration. And how does separating funnel looks? This is going to be a separating funnel. When two immiscible liquids are present, they can be present in this way. And here in this way, these are the experiments. See the Buchner funnel, the heating mantle, and Buchner funnel, and separating funnel. This is can be what you can say. These are the other important apparatus that can be used. Let us see what is this distillation kit. And in this distillation kit, what are the different apparatus that can be used in this regard? Let us say this is a general distillation kit. Here, the reaction mixture is taken in a round bottom flask, which has a neck, a narrow neck, and where it is fitted with a stand. And here, this is a Bunsen burner we kept here, but we can use here the heating mantle and where the electric heat is supplied. Now, when it is heated at a temperature, the temperature is maintained with the help of this thermometer, and the vapors are comes out from this flask, round bottom flask, and this passes through this. This is called water condenser, and where the water is flows in, and water will comes out from here. And so that when vapors pass through this condenser, they are cooled by this water current of water, and then be condensed, and they are collected in a receiving flask. This is what I meant to say. This is a kit where for the distillation is used. Instead of here, we use the mantle. Wherever we required a burner also we can use, but in general we use the mantle also, heating mantle. Now let us go for the, what do you say, you can see this one in this way. This is the case that is going to be happening. And now you can see this is the vapors going to be these are the vapors comes out, and this is a distillation flask you can say, and here this is the water condenser, and you can see here it is a thermometer. Okay, now let us see the other one is going to be now let us see what is the background of these practicals. Esters are derived from carboxylic acid. A carboxylic acid contains the COOH group that you know, and an ester, the hydrogen in this group is replaced, and this is the hydrogen. This hydrogen can be replaced by hydrocarbon group of some kind. This could be an alkyl group like methyl or ethyl, or one containing a benzene ring like phenylals. Esters are widespread in nature and are widely used in industry, notably for flavorings. Mainly, esters are used for flavorings. Let us see some examples for this one. And this ester, we call it as the, what we say, ethyl, that is ethyl methanoate, where it is used as a rum flavoring. This is going to be the ethyl group, this is the methanoate. And this is a rum flavoring. And another one you can say propyl pentanoate. And this is the propyl group, and it is the pentanoate or valerate. And this is the pineapple flavoring. And other one is said to be the ethyl butanoate. This is having some apple odor. And other one is said to be the octyl ethanoate, which is orange odor. These are the different, what I meant to say, what do you call it, as the different esters where these are used as the flavoring agents. And you can see this is going to be say rum flavoring, and this propyl propanoate is said to be the, what do you say, a pineapple flavoring. Okay, now let us see this one. and this is going to be the apple powder and orange order. The classic synthesis of esters in the Fischer esterification, which involves treating a carboxylic acid with an alcohol in the presence of a dehydrating agent. And this is the classic example, this is a carboxylic acid, and this, this is a carboxylic acid, and this is going to be the alcohol, and this is going to be the ester, and the last one is going to be the, what you say, here you can observe, this is the alcohol, this is an ester, this is going to be the water, and another one is said to be the, see, this is going to be the carboxylic acid. In this way, it is in the presence of either acidic or basic medium, and I told you that this reaction mainly carried, our discussion is carried, involved the acidic medium only, not in basic medium. Now let us see the other one. The strong acids, typically sulfuric acid, catalyze this reaction. Many other acids also use it. Esterification is highly reversible. The simple reaction of one equivalent of each of acid and alcohol gives a mixture of starting materials and products. The yield of the product may be improved by using a Le-Chatelier principle. You know that this Le-Chatelier principle, and I think you understood what is this Le-Chatelier principle. See, this is going to be the, this is capital L, and this Le-Chatelier principle we have learned in many classes, where the Le-Chatelier principle involves, what are the factors which influence a reversible reaction, that we know and we discussed. That is, you learn in even intermediate also, and many sections, and that is some other topic, and we are not going to discuss now here. Using the alcohol in large excess, because it is used as a solvent also. Using dehydrating agent like sulfuric acid not only catalyzes the reaction, but sequester water, that is water can be removed because it acts as a dehydrating agent. Removal of water by physical means such as an azeotropic distillation, which with cyclohexane or toluene will be used. Now let us see what are the general mechanism involved in this esterification in acidic medium. See, the first step is the protonation. This step is called as the protonation of an acid. And this is a carboxylic acid where it will be going to protonated. And here you will get a protonated, and in the same time, this is going to be see, in this reaction, you can see this one where the pi bonded electrons are shifted to here, so that what you get, this going to be the negatively charged one, that's why it attract the proton, and it will be done like this. And you can observe there is a carbocation is generated in this first step. And what is in the second step, you can see in the second step what happens, and this acts as the what we call it as the electrophile. That is, it is going to be the nucleophile, because the two lone pair of electrons are there. It acts as a nucleophile where this is going to be attacked on the this carbocation like this. And because when it is attacked here, and you will get an intermediate, and this is the intermediate is done, that is this, and where the oxonium ion is formed. And in the third step, you can see here there is because the oxygen is a positively charged one, and immediately there is a loss of proton takes place here from here, and so that the oxygen leaves the, what I meant to say, positive charge, and it will get neutralized. After this neutralizing, then here this is going to be the proton will be lost from the oxygen. Then here it is going to be then the fourth step and last step. Whenever you know that whenever there is a two OH groups on the same carbon, it is unstable. We discussed many times here in this regard. and this immediately loses a water molecule, and in this way it loses a water molecule, and will get the compound that is our required compound is going to be the ester, and in this way you will get the ester compound in this mechanism. Okay, now come to the another point is here this is our reaction, that is a general mechanism. Previous one is a general mechanism, whereas this is our latest reaction. This is going to be the acetic acid, it is going to be the N-butyl alcohol, and it water sulfuric acid is added as required, and it is heated about 1 hour, and you will get N-butyl acetate along with a byproduct water. And you can observe here again, see, this is going to be the carboxylic acid, where you will get where we use in this preparation, and another one is said to be the N-butanol, that is normal butyl alcohol, and used for the sulfuric acid acts as a catalyst as well as a dehydrating agent. The mixture is heated at about 1 hour in a round bottom flask, and here this is going to be the N-butyl acetate in this regard. Now let us see this is the case. N-butanol, this is N-butanol, and this is going to be that is acetic acid and heating. Okay, let us see the other one we'll discuss is see what are the compounds and what are their molecular weights. Let us see. Now let us discuss about see the compounds we get is the first one is acetic acid, and it is going to be the molecular weight 60 around, and density and its boiling point, and we take N-butanol, and another one is the sulfuric acid, another one is the N-butyl. That is this compound will get N-butyl acetate in this reaction. It is going to be the product. Now let us see what is the procedure involved. In a 100 ml of round bottom flask, introduce successfully acetic acid about 15 ml and N-butanol 11.5 ml and concentrated sulfuric acid 2 ml. That is, we will take a round bottom flask in which the reactants will added 15 ml of acetic acid, 11.5 ml of butanol, and 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid. Then next add few boiling chips and it fit a water condenser lubricated with the grease. What is this boiling chips? So whenever the reactant mixture is heated in the round bottom flask, what happens? The bumping of mixture that is liquids may take place, because you know that at home also we can observe that one. When boiling chips are added, the heating will be given to the reaction mixture uniformly, and the bumping of the liquids will be prevented. The mixture is reflected by means of heating mantle for 1 hour, time upon which the reaction mixture is transferred into a separating flask containing 30 ml of normal water. See, in this 1 hour, the round bottom flask, the reactant mixture in the heating mantle with in the round bottom flask heated it at 1 hour. After that, it is transferred to that is separating funnel. I shown that separating funnel which contains 30 ml of water. The aqueous layer is isolated and the organic layer is washed first with a 10% solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate, which removes the acetic acid, which reacts with the sodium bicarbonate and forms sodium salt of acetic acid, and that will be dissolved in water. And then with water, around 2 times with 10 ml of water. Now then the organic layer is dried over anhydrous sodium sulfate. It is not 34, it is by mistake, it was there. And let us see, let us correct it one. See, this is going to be the sodium sulfate and around 1 gram and filter over Buchner funnel. I shown you Buchner funnel how it works. The filter paper is kept in the Buchner funnel and it is separated. Finally, the filtrate is distilled slowly and the boiling point is recorded. To know the boiling point itself is an identification for the product. Weigh the mass of the product and butyl estate that is obtained. Okay, and the compound is the molecular weights, and there previously we discussed the boiling points also, and it is going to be the acetic acid mass we use the 15.73 grams, and N-butanol we got it as 9.31, so that if the reaction is completed, we will get 14.59 grams of the N-butyl estate. And this is going to be the reaction that happened: acetic acid, N-butanol, and N-butyl estate. Now let us see the mass of, that is how to report this one. The mass of the product accepted, that is 14.59, and another one is said to be the mass product obtained. This is expected, this is obtained. Then what is the percentage yield of our product? Percentage of chemical yield, that is can be obtained by this one: mass expected divided by mass obtained into 100. That gives the percentage yield of our experiment. With this, we can conclude this mixture, this experiment, and you can watch. This is in YouTube, that is performed in the laboratory by some other means, and I am providing this link. You can pass it and copy this link, and you can observe. In the part 1, we have the preparation, how the ingredients or reactants are added in round bath first, and also how does this reaction is carried, that is how does the distillation is carried. After distillation in part 2, when placed in the separating funnel, how does this reacting mixtures are separated, that can be seen in the part 2, and you can observe here also. Okay, that can be, you can watch and whenever you are free. Now let us go into the other reaction is going to be that is other reaction is going to be the methylation. And let us see what is this methylation reaction, what to do in this experiment. The first in this going to be the naphthyl methyl ether. That is, in the previous discussion we prepared an ester. In this discussion we prepare an ether. That ether is the naphthyl methyl ether. Let us see what is this naphthyl methyl ether. And this is going to be the naphthyl methyl ether. You can observe here. This can be observed here. Okay. Now let us see what are the different steps involved in this preparation of naphthyl methyl ether. Experiments involving the use of dimethyl sulfate should be carried out by students only under immediate supervision. Not only the vapor of dimethyl sulfate highly poisonous, but the cold liquid itself is absorbed easily through the skin. The toxic results depends on individual susceptibility to the dimethyl sulfate. Poisoning varies and may be very high. If the sulfate is splashed on the hands, wash immediately with plenty of concentrated ammonia solution in order to hydrolyze the methyl sulfate before it can be absorbed through the skin. What is the discussion is, the dimethyl sulfate is highly poisonous. It can be absorbed by the skin and causes highly toxic effects. And that what are the precautions must be taken here? What is the aim in this one? Convert the whole of the supplied beta naphthyl into nerolin. That is, the naphthyl methyl ether is also called as what you say nerolin, and recrystallized a portion from the methanol. And what is the principle involved in this one? Nerolin can be readily obtained from beta naphthyl by methylation with dimethyl sulfate. This is going to be the beta naphthol and dimethyl sulfate. This reaction is carried in presence of sodium hydroxide, and this is what is called as a nerolin or naphthyl. This is going to be the naphthyl, and this is going to be the methyl ether. Naphthyl methyl ether. This is the naphtha, beta naphthol, dimethyl sulfate, and you can see naphthyl methyl ether can be observed. Now let us see what are the operators required. Okay. That is conical flask, measuring cylinder, thermometer, water bath, and reagents or chemicals. Actually, this should be here and it here. And what are the reagents or chemicals required? That is 2-naphthyl around 10 grams, dimethyl sulfate 6.9 ml or 9.2 grams, 10% sodium hydroxide, and methanol. These are the requirements for the, what I mean to say, for the preparation of our neroli. Then what is the procedure involved in this reaction, in this experiment? Dissolve 10 grams of pure 2-naphthyl in 30 ml of 10% sodium hydroxide solution contained in a stout-walled wide-necked bottle of about 200 ml capacity, and for which a well-fitting rubber stopper is available. Dilute the solution with 30 ml of water in order to moderate the subsequent reaction, and then run in from a burette about 6.9 ml, that is 9.2 grams or 1.05 moles of dimethyl sulfate. Cork the bottle securely and shake the contents vigorously. As the reaction proceeds, the mixture becomes warm and methyl naphthyl ether rapidly separates as a grayish white powder. Finally, after about 20 minutes, shaking the reaction is complete and the mixture has again become almost whole. Filter the methyl naphthyl ether at the pump, wash with dilute 10% sodium hydroxide to remove any traces of unchanged naphthol or methyl sulfate, and then wash thoroughly with water and drain. Recrystallize from methylated spirit, from which the methyl 2-naphthyl ether separates readily as a colorless crystal. And see the that is what I meant to say, by determine its melting point, which is 72 degrees centigrade. Nerolin, which has a faint but very persistent odor, used in technically for scenting soaps, etc. And this is what is going to be the experiment. How does the nerolin is? I hope this you can understand this. Otherwise, just pause it and again you can watch it. Now let us see the other one is going to be the other experiment. The third experiment is going to be the, what we call it as the condensation reaction. The other one is the condensation. Previously we discussed about what is esterification, what is methylation. Methylation is used for preparation of ether. Esterification is for N-butyl ester. And this is going to be the condensation reaction. Then what is going to be discussed in the here? See, in this condensation reaction, we will going to discuss about preparation of benzylidene aniline. This can be carried from benzaldehyde and aniline will be used in this case. Now let us see how does it can be prepared. Preparation of benzylidene aniline, that is also called as Schiff's base. This can be carried. Aldehydes generally undergo condensation with primary amines with the elimination of water to give compounds known as Schiff's bases, which can also be used to characterize the aldehydes, where the only aldehydes can give the Schiff's base. Therefore, this is a characteristic test also. For example, benzaldehyde condenses readily with aniline to give benzylidene aniline, and that is going to be our experiment today. Now let us see this one. Aldehydes undergo condensation with the primary amines with the elimination of water to give compounds known as the Schiff's bases, which can also be used to characterize aldehydes. Benzaldehyde, and this we already discussed. Okay? Now let us see what is the principle involved in this one. The principle involved is benzaldehyde undergo condensation with aniline in presence of acidic medium to give benzylidene aniline. Now this is going to be the reaction, benzaldehyde on reaction with aniline. You can observe here, this is benzaldehyde, aniline in presence of acidic medium we will get benzylidene aniline is formed. And this is the experiment that can be carried in the lab. Now let us see, this product is called as an imine or a Schiff's base. And the first stage of the mechanism is a normal nucleophilic addition. The amine acts as the nucleophile and the nitrogen atom is the nucleophilic center. The nitrogen uses its lone pair of electrons to form a bond to the electrophilic carbonyl carbon. The nitrogen also gains a positive charge, but both these charges can be neutralized by the transfer of a proton from one another. See, this is going to be the mechanism, and you can see what is the mechanism of this one. See, you can see the mechanism. This is the benzaldehyde, and see, this is the protonated. This is actually an acid where the water is protonated, that is in the form of hydronium ion, and this hydronium ion, this is going to be attached on this one, so that this oxygen is protonated. This oxygen is protonated, that is transfer of proton takes place. And here the oxygen will get the positive charge and there is some changes takes place. The pi bond is shifted to this oxygen, and that's why you will get, you can observe here, there is a, what you say, a positively charged carbon, that is carbonyl carbon. Let us change the pen color. Let us change the ink color to the, what I meant to say, blue. Okay, this is going to be the positively charged carbon. Here you can observe for this positively charged carbon, the lone pair of electron on the nitrogen, this is going to be, this is aniline, and the lone pair of electron going to attack here. And in this way, when it is attacked on this one, you get the nitrogen has a positive charge. And to remove this positive charge, the proton transfer takes place from the nitrogen to the oxygen. And here again what happened? There is a positive charged oxygen and there is some changes takes place, so that loss of water takes place by shifting this electron. See, these electrons are shifting here like this to the bond between the carbon and nitrogen, and simultaneously the water is removed here. The water is removed in this case. See, you can observe there is a water is removed. The water will be removed. And here, after removing water, you can see this one again, there is a triple bond between the nitrogen and hydrogen, and in the same time the proton is. And this proton excess, because of this proton, the nitrogen got this positive charge. And again, here, this positively, the water molecule that is generated here absorbs the proton from the nitrogen, and finally again here you can observe here, this is going to be the hydronium ion. Finally that hydronium ion is generated, and here you get what is called as the, see here what is, you call it as the, that, see, benzylidene is observed. You can see benzylidene is formed. This is going to be the benzylidene is formed, and you can observe this one. Okay, now this is the general mechanism of benzylidene, that is condensation reaction. Now what is the procedure involved here? Mix 0.01 ml of benzaldehyde, 0.01 ml of aniline, and 5 drops of acetic acid in a beaker. Then place the beaker in water bath and stir the mixture gently with a glass rod. Globules of water soon appears on the boiling layer. After 30 minutes, place the beaker in the ice water and stir the contents well, whereupon solidification should rapidly occur. Break up the solid material and transfer to the conical flask. And that is going to be the, what I meant to say, benzylidene preparation. Sorry. And see, this is the benzaldehyde or Schiff's base preparation. And the next that is the fourth procedure that we're going to discuss now, is the diazotization. Let us see how does this diazotization will be carried. Now this diazotization, that is, we discussed 3 experiments. What are those? Esterification, methylation, that is preparation of ester, preparation of ether, and condensation reaction, benzylidene, aniline. And the last procedure, that is going to be the diazotization. How the diazotization is carried, how it will be carried in the laboratory, let us discuss. In this diazotization, what we will going to discuss is, this is going to be, we will discuss, that is called as the azo coupling of beta naphtha. This is called as azo coupling of beta naphtha. Then what is the coupling agent with the beta naphtha? And that is going to be the azo coupling of beta naphthol is going to be the compound that can be prepared is 2-naphthol aniline dye is a red color, that is beta naphthol with aniline. 2-naphthol aniline dye is a red dye with an azo compound. It is primarily used for a textile dye. Azo compounds have an extended system of conjugation and often the colored and used as a colors. The reaction known as the coupling reaction prefers these compounds is 2-aniline naphthol dye is made from aniline. See what is the aim? To prepare 2-naphthol aniline dye from aniline, sodium nitrate, hydrochloric acid, and alkaline solution of beta naphthol, also called as 2-naphthol. Then what is the background or the theory behind this one? 2-naphthol aniline dye is a scarlet dye, can be prepared by coupling reaction. This diazotization reaction is also called coupling. Why it is called coupling reaction? Because the 2 ring systems are coupled, that is 2 ring systems are connected. When 2 ring systems are connected and such a reaction is called with a double bond, such a reaction is called as a coupling reaction. Aniline reacts with the sodium nitrate in the presence of hydrochloric acid, forms benzene diazonium chloride. Further, benzene diazonium chloride reacts with the 2-naphthol or beta naphthol, forms a bright orange color 2-naphthol aniline dye. This is going to be the different steps involved here. In the first step, you can see, and here this is going to be the aniline, you know this one, and here the sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid. Actually this reaction mixture will produces the nitrous acid, which converts aniline into the diazonium chloride, and this reaction is carried at very low temperature, where 0 to 5 degrees centigrade only, that is low temp. Then we will get a benzene diazonium chloride. In step 2, for this benzene diazonium chloride, we use the 2-naphthol in presence of dilute sodium hydroxide. It is also called beta naphthol or 2-naphthol. And you will get an orange colored dye, a colored compound, which is called as 2-naphthol aniline dye or an orange colored dye. And see here, when 2 ring systems are connected like this with a double bonded one, that type of reaction is called as a coupling reaction. And this diazotization is an example for coupling reaction. Let us see. The azo compounds are prepared by the reaction of diazotization salts with phenol under alkaline condition. Primary aromatic amines react with nitrous acid at 0 degrees centigrade, gives a diazonium salt. Just now I told you the nitrous acid. Actually the nitrous acid is unstable, and that's why it is prepared in situ. In situ means it is prepared itself in the reaction mixture by mixing sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid, and this is stable at 0 degrees centigrade. And the mixture of sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid, when added to the primary aromatic amines like aniline, they give the diazonium salt. And nitrous acid is in turn formed by the reaction of sodium nitrate with hydrochloric acid, and this is called preparation in situ. The active reagent is nitrous anhydride or dinitrogen trioxide. Nitrous anhydride reacts with aniline to give nitroamine derivative, which is unstable and converted to diazonium salt. And finally, this diazonium salt reacts with the 2-naphthol in the presence of sodium hydroxide, give 2-naphthol aniline, which is an aniline dye. Now let us see this one. What are the chemicals required for this one? Chemicals are aniline, sodium nitrate, hydrochloric acid, 2-naphthol, sodium hydroxide solute. Actually, the sodium hydroxide is used, what I meant say, to form the sodium naphthoxide ion. Actually, that to remove the proton. And what are the apparatus required? Beaker, test tube, Buchner funnel, pipette, capillary tube, thermometer, distilled water, hot air oven, ice bath, etc. These are the different apparatus that can be required for this experiment. Now, what is the apparatus setup? This is a beaker where all the reaction mixture. First, we'll take the aniline, and we take the aniline in separate, and naphthol is separate. And aniline is treated with the nitrous acid, where benzene diazonium chloride is formed, and that can be transferred to this beaker. And the naphthol, after mixing with the sodium hydroxide, this can be transferred to this mixture. And here, when after mixing this one, the coupling reaction takes place, we can get a beautiful orange dye that is also called azo dye is formed. Let us see what is the procedure. Dissolve 5 ml of aniline in a mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and water. Cool the solution in ice bath between 0 to 5 degrees centigrade to form the benzene diazonium chloride, and a solution of 4 grams of sodium nitrite in 15 ml of water, drop wise with continuous shaking and controlling the temperature below 5 degrees centigrade. Take another flask to dissolve 8 grams of 2-naphthol in a solution of 5 grams sodium hydroxide solution in 50 ml of water. Cool the solution in the ice bath at 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. Now mix the two cold solutions slowly drop-wise with constant stirring in a beaker. Continue the stirring at least half an hour without allowing the temperature to rise above 10 degrees centigrade. An orange color azo dye called 2-naphthol aniline separates out. Then the filter the crude sample and wash it with cold water. Then finally, you can dry and recrystallize it is from ethyl alcohol or glacial acetic acid. I hope that you understood these 4 experiments that are the esterification, methylation, condensation, and diazotization. These are the 4 practical procedures which are employed in BSc 3rd semester, that is preparation of organic compound. With this, we can conclude this video. I hope that you understood clearly. Otherwise, you can review this one. Thank you for viewing this one. If it is useful, and share with these students BSc 3rd semester, and help them to know how to carry the experiments. And for this, I can say thank for each and everyone who viewed this one and shared this video to all the students. And this is what I meant to say, it is a necklace actually. It is a necklace which is made up with a platinum, love chemistry necklace, sterling silver chain, laser cut necklace, black heart charm, geometric necklace with a gift card. Its price is in US dollar 22.33. That means what a beautiful necklace is made with what I meant to say, with that is benzene rings and our formulas. That's why I mentioned here. Thank you one and all for watching this one. Share it and subscribe my channel for more videos. Have a nice time. Thank you one and all.